There are states like Bihar, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, and we have to see what they have done. Let me talk about Orissa, even if I did made a presentation to Orissa government on this. They are, they did not go to market borrowing for many years. They created a surplus fund through revenue surplus, and their capital outlay has been increasing. Now they are more than the all India average, and their RR revenue, this interest as a revenue receipt is only 6%. This is the we have to think of the exact what the states have done. Even a poor state which can transfer its fiscal scenario. Bihar is also changing. We have to give this message. Maharashtra now, where I am residing, they have a serious problem of fiscal issue. Debt burden has been increasing, and they have to think seriously now, because per capita debt in case of Maharashtra is one of the high among the all states. So one has to think in terms of what is the pattern emerging. We are doing some study on convergence. We are finding that some convergence is taking place both in terms of beta and sigma convergence, that the poorer states are coming up, some of the poorer states what we have indicated, and the, the, the bigger states, they are losing their position in terms of fiscal. This is one message which has to go. So even if we get a rosy picture, a slightly rosy picture in terms of 2016-17 we have to keep it in mind. It may change, and it may change substantially. So, and the second thing, what Mr. Mundal has pointed out, the northeastern states, they have a big revenue surplus, and they have a big revenue, it's a big fiscal deficit. This is a pattern, which you can't, think of why it should happen. They have started spending quite a money on this capital outlay, but they don't have the capacity to spend that much. Ultimately, so they are getting, they are showing so much of fiscal deficit. I think that fiscal deficit ultimately, they at the end of the year they have to reduce. But ultimately, you find even in terms of actual capital outlay, the northeastern states is doing very well, even though that there is a need for fiscal marksmanship by estimating the budget. So now there are some comments that it is aspiration and we have to attempt that and all those things. But I think fiscal marksmanship, should be attempted. Maybe margin, there may be difference when you, because more or less you have some idea how much, but one thing, there is absolutely what Mr. Ghosh said, that when there is a shift from the, central transfer, because of low resource mobilization of the center and also by the states, that also creates some uncertainty, but that should happen in a sort of margin. The type of changes we are seeing from B to RE and RE to actual is quite massive. Thank you.
Now I think we have about 45 minutes for discussion. So, oh sorry.
No, I mean I'm from Jammu and Kashmir. Just as the commissioner, I don't have the exact access to the national document to the state at the moment. But speaking of these figures, the interesting part is what is mentioned here, that the B's are total variance to the actual expenditure in a lot of states, and but in J&K in capital expenditure, my experience has been that there's been a lot of variation in the actual capital expenditure at the end of the day, and what exactly is an aspirational part of the budget in terms of B. That we want to spend so much of money in capital expenditure, but we are not able to do so for various reasons. Similarly, even the revenue surplus, which is indicated in the D, our state has had the unfortunate, history of having a lot of turbulence, particularly in the recent years, and that has, to our understanding, severely affected the estimated revenues also of the state government in terms of lowering of the economic activity for a significant portion of the year. And we might be facing, I'm not very sure, that the projected figure of 4%, 4.8% revenue surplus will actually be there. I mean, this is all, according to me, a total, off the mark situation. Similarly, the fiscal deficit portion also is off the mark, according to me, because we won't be able to spend so much money. This may be an aspirational part that we can spend so much federal money. And the fact of the matter is that my experience has been that the increased transfers of 10% because of the Finance Commission's rulings, and we have been lucky that the central government has agreed to our 90-10 ratio, and most of the centrally sponsored schemes are there now with 90-10 kind of funding. So we had a lucky break, otherwise we would have been in great soup, because 10% transfer in terms of tax devolution is nothing compared to central transfers, and if the central transfer not there, we had a net loss of central transfer to the state. So and moreover, particularly states like J&K, and maybe it's true for the other northeastern states also, we have a huge pent up deficit in terms of revenue expenditure, and there are a lot of hidden, I would say, revenue kind of expenditure in the name of capital expenditure because of a lot of transfers going towards salaries and the pent up demand. So most of the additional transfers being given by the central government to the Finance Commission are in fact utilized for meeting our undeclared, unanticipated demands on revenue expenditure. This is what happened.
Some of the other states which are present, let me ask them, because who have not spoken, then we can.
I'm Sunita, Secretary Budget from ABC. Sir, the 14th Finance Commission has raised some issues, sir, which were not discussed. I think I could flag it here. One of the reasons which you were talking about for the fiscal deficit in Andhra was that we had very high capital expenditure, sir, even higher than what the budget had mentioned for us. And in the end, the revenues, though they were growing at 12%, they could not meet the expenditure because our capital expenditure was more than 33,000 or something as crores. And then naturally we went into a deficit. Now options given in this are not very good for us, because we have, after being bifurcated, we have landed with a higher debt ratio, and even if you just take the existing debt which has been passed on to us after bifurcation, 25% is already covered. So there is no way we can come below that, and so there is no incentive or no possibility of us coming into this 25% debt GSDP ratio. And then the 0.25% which the Government of India would like to give is around 2,000 crores, but our FDI I think was around 7,000 crores. So the incentive again, just for an understanding, sir, this is just to flag this issue. It doesn't incentivize us.
That's what it is.
Yes. Then again, capital expenditure wise, sir, we have done more capital expenditure than we are able to project, because most of it goes into the granted aid Panchayat Raj institutions, and then it is not shown as capital expenditure. So all our roads and buildings which are built under Panchayat Raj system all go into revenue, whereas actually just capital. Similarly, we have also spent a lot of money on universities for their buildings and all that. Even that doesn't get covered as capital here. And one of the issues of the 14th Finance Commission also, which I want to flag, is that the Zilla Parishad, there is a direct devolution of funds to the state, and then there is a direct devolution to the Gram Panchayats. But there are a lot of schemes with the Zilla Parishad, like maintenance of protected water supply, maintenance of their own roads and all that, which does not find funding in this pattern. They say that, okay, the states have got more funds, so this will be enough to fund the Zilla Parishad schemes. But in practice, it doesn't happen, sir. We states ourselves, we are running into deficits, and we are not in a position to fund the Zilla Parishad schemes. So that part of that, the center even wants to again have a relook at the way funded. I think that is one sector one has to look at. Then there are also schemes. Actually, just before this meeting, I met Mr. Rajpanjit sir, and I discussed with him about our things about for pensions. Government of India still thinks that some poor fellow can live on 200 rupees per month. I don't, in my wildest imagination, can believe that somebody can still live like that. So we have schemes like that, and then the state government goes forward and gives them 1,000 rupees. In Andhra, we give 1,000 rupees for the pension for a new person. So 800 rupees is borne by Andhra. So in the schemes which are being started by Government of India, which actually have not been updated, when the state government steps in, there's a lot of monetary weight which falls on the state government. Another example I would like to give is the BC welfare. The small little pre-matric scholarship, post-matric scholarship, very little amounts are given. But then when it comes to the state, in Andhra again about 90% of it is funded by the government of AP. So these are, all of these schemes are, though they are deemed as revenue, I would definitely cap them as development schemes which are meant for the development of the state and which are doing cross-subsidization and hence a good scheme. And all these end up in increasing the revenue costs. Then in the 14 Finance Commission, NSSF was supposed to be optional, but last March some amount was just slammed down our throats and we didn't have a chance to say no because it came down last minute. And this added to our debt, which we were not actually, our own OMB we had not yet finished, and then this NSS was slammed down our throats and our debt went up. So that also I would like to just flag. I'm just flagging it because all the secretaries are here, and I'm sure many of my other state representatives also would have similar issues. Then in our states, the guarantee percentage is 90% of the revenue receipts. So we have a good amount of percentage there, but that guarantee percentage is not exactly what is leading to our FD deficit. But it is like what Mr. Pinaki Chakravarti has said. We have used our PF resources, and this is something which we anyway pay from our state resources. It's like a cascading effect. I don't think the effect of it falls on government, because I was raising this